Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to That's My Take podcast. I am your host, Nug the narrator. Um, been a little minute. Happy to be back. Feeling good, feeling great. Let's get right into it. World news. Researchers found a tiny skull with wide eyes and a cartoonish grin. It could help solve an evolutionary puzzle. Paleontologists with the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History have discovered a previously unknown prehistoric species, a 270 million year old amphibian with wide eyes and a cartoonish grin. And its name is a nod to an iconic froggy celebrity. Kermit the Frog meet Kermitus grantus, the most recent ancient amphibian to be identified after examination of a tiny fossilized skull that once sat unstudied in the Smithsonian Fossil Collection for 40 years, according to a paper published Thursday in the Zoological Journal of the Lineal Society. Predating the dinosaurs, Kermitus is believed to have roamed the lower Central Fork Formation of Texas during the early Permian epoch, 298 million to 272 million years ago. The skull of the ancient amphibian, measuring just over an inch, about 2.5 centimeters long, features big oval eye sockets and, due to a slightly crushed state, a lopsided smile that researchers said resembled them of the Muppet icon. Hmm. Obviously, my take on when we find stuff this old, I mean, great. I just can't see how they could date something that old and pinpoint it and all that. But to have something that's in a good state of, I guess, completeness in the last these many years is always awesome and a good thing for the people that's into that type of stuff. So obviously, hats off to them for discovering Hermitus Grantus. Moving on, Coach, you're about to get kicked out. That's my Frenchie, and he's about to get kicked out. Coach, cut it out. The United States will contribute 300 million to the Kenyan-led multinational society mission to Haiti. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said Monday. As the situation on the ground continues to deteriorate, I'm announcing today that the United States Department of Defense is doubling its approved support of the mission from 100 million to 200 million. This dog of mine. He gotta go. Come get him. He gotta go. You about to go. You kicked out, bro. I'm not dealing with all that noise. I'm trying to get world news. You out of here. All right. They said they was going to double their support of the mission from 100 million to 200 million, and that brings the total U.S. support to 300 million for this effort. Blinken said at the conclusion of a meeting of the Caribbean states in the Jamaican capital of Kingston. It remains unclear when the security mission will be deployed. Kenya's Interior Minister Ketra Kindleki said early Monday that Kenyan troops are currently in the pre-deployment stage. It comes as a U.S. worldwide threat assessment found that gangs will be more likely to violently resist a foreign nation force deployed to Haiti because they perceive it to be a shared threat to their control and operations. The assessment underscored the challenge likely in store for the multinational security support mission. U.S. officials have called for the acceleration of such a force to help stabilize the volatile situation on the ground, which has seen Haiti into a state of emergency after the capital, Port-au-Prince, plunged into violence amid highly coordinated gang attacks. I don't know if y'all, follow the podcast, but I've spoken on Haiti several times. Again, this news about the U.S. helping Haiti always comes with a why, but at the same time, for them to get stability from all the gang violence and uproar, it's a good thing in and of itself. So for them to give money, which again you've been following the show, I feel like a lot of the reasons they're doing this is because of the natural minerals that's in Haiti that they obviously are trying to get their hands on, in my opinion. That's my take. Moving on. Russia saw protests at polling stations on Sunday on the final day of voting in the election set to extend Russian President Vladimir Putin's long hold on power. Lines at some polling stations in Russia grew suddenly at around 12 p.m. local time Sunday, the hour at which supporters of the decreased opposition leader Alexei Navalny called on people to turn out collectively as a show of opposition support. A CNN team at a polling station in Moscow said the line grew rapidly over a 5 to 10 minute spell at around noon, and estimated 150 people had arrived. The CNN team said the police was letting people in batches through the gates to pass through security, with metal detectors and bags being checked inside the building. One 39-year-old voter said he had come at noon to see other people, and they have come too, a woman told the CNN team. This is the first time in my life I have ever seen a city erupt, basically, for elections. She asked why they had come to this hour. She simply replied, "You know why? I think everybody in this town knows why." Obviously, there's heavy opposition for Putin to be reelected. It looks like he will be reelected. Russia still is one of the people, again, we need to keep our eyes on as a country in terms of national security. I think they're a threat to worldwide peace everywhere. And obviously, he'll probably be reelected. So, again, let's keep our eyes on Russia. Don't sleep. Moving on to U.S. news. Joshua H., the last of 6 former Mississippi police officers to be sentenced in the torture of 2 black men in January of 2023, received 10 years in prison by a federal judge on Thursday afternoon. The former Richland Police Department officer pled guilty in August to federal charges of conspiracy against rights, depriving the rights under color of law, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and obstruction of justice related to the January 24th incident. H also pleaded guilty in August to state charges of conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice and first-degree obstruction of justice. He awaits sentencing on the state charges. H, who was one of the officers who tased the 2 men while they was handcuffed, also tried to dispose of evidence in the case, prosecutors said. Earlier Thursday, another of the officers, Brent M., was sentenced to more than 27 years in prison by a federal judge on Thursday morning. Federal prosecutors described the former deputy with the Rankin County Sheriff's Office as, and I quote, the one calling the shots, and as a mafia don among the 6 rogue Goon squad, which they went by, who tortured citizens. Acts associated with another time in the state of Mississippi. M pleaded guilty in August to federal charges of conspiracy against rights, depriving the rights under color of law, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and obstruction of justice related to the January 24th incident. M also pleaded guilty in August to state charges of conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice and first-degree obstruction of justice. He awaits sentencing on the state charges. I did hear about this story this week on the Breakfast Club as well. I heard a lot of the details that went on in terms of them abusing prisoners, and it's just it's awful. They deserve every federal month, state, year that they get in prison for the heinous acts that they did on these people. And obviously, it's a good thing that justice was served in Mississippi. I'm going to just say that. Moving on. Home sales surged 9.5% in February despite higher mortgage rates as population growth and a strong labor market encourage would-be buyers to move now. The National Association of Realtors said on Thursday, despite the measured comments, the report follows news that the Federal Reserve on Wednesday. It upgraded its estimate of economic growth this year to 2.1% from 1.4% in December, noting the strong labor market and overall economic activity. The action follows private sector economists who have been boasting their 2024 forecast while also lowering the odds of a recession this year. And as for housing, the second positive gain in the housing sales in a month shows that buyers exist in a market that is short of available inventory. Prices, meanwhile, continue to rise, with the median existing home price in February at $384,000, 5.7% higher than a year ago. The Federal Reserve will likely put off rate cuts until the summer, which suggests that mortgage rates will come down much in the first half of the year, she added. Buyers and sellers seem to be adjusting to the new normal of mortgage rates above 6.5%. Some of y'all might know I am a realtor, and hearing things like that sounds good. February, I guess, on paper was a great month. But overall, due to an influx of realtors, shortage of inventory, interest rates, inflation, real estate is not moving as good as those numbers are making it sound. And this is coming from the ground floor. I am a realtor. I do this every day. I remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was moving, meaning you had a lot of buyers trying to buy stuff. Now it's not so much. You do have to dig a little deeper to find clients right now ready to buy, able to buy, and wanting to buy. That's coming again from the ground floor. I don't know how it is everywhere else. I'm coming to you live from Alabama. Have no reason to lie. Real estate, in my opinion, is steady, but we do need lower prices, lower interest rates, and more inventory for more buyers to come out. Obviously, that's just economics. Moving on. Hip hop and entertainment news. Freaknik documentary hits Hulu and inspires parade of memes. The film's streaming debut sparked a mix of jokes and serious reflection, making Freaknik a trending topic on X, formerly known as Twitter. Freaknik documentary hits Hulu and it's entitled Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told, and it premiered today, March 21st. The film streaming the Freaknik documentary featured the contributions of multiple hip hop artists, Jermaine Dupri, 21 Savage, and Two Live Crew's Uncle Luke Campbell served as the film's executive producers. Lil Jon, Killer Mike, CeeLo Green, and Too Short were among the notable names who appeared in the documentary. The documentary explored Freaknik's evolution from a simple college cookout in the 80s to wild festivities that consumed Atlanta before getting shut down in the late 90s. The film aimed to show why Freaknik developed an almost mythical reputation over the years without ignoring the disturbing parts of his history. And I quote, in telling the full story of Freaknik, to admit the sexual SA, should say, and to admit the things that did cause harm is not allowing the full story to be told, producer Jay Allen said. So we just wanted to make sure that as you watch this, that no other documentary about Freaknik has ever to be told. I do have some age on me. I'm 45, be 46 in July. The man upstairs say the same. I believe I went to Freaknik. I was either 16 or 17, 95 or 96. I really don't remember the year I went, because it could have been the summer before I went off to college in 96, or it could have been the summer before I went to senior year, which would be 95, that summer. Freaknik was live, man, like simple and plain. Something that I'm glad I got to be a part of. I partied hard. I've been to the Tunnel in New York. I've been to the Viper Room in LA. I lived a rock star, cowboy, rapper lifestyle for many years, and Freaknik was early on, and I enjoyed Freaknik, and yeah, I doubt I'll be in the documentary or even recognize myself. I mean, I probably either didn't have dreads or had pre-dreads, so I mean, it was a whole nother cat. So yeah, Freaknik was great. Moving on. Charleston White declared he would send Boosie Badass back to jail for threatening a promoter in the rapper's hometown of Baton Rouge. According to White, Boosie allegedly attempted to block the internet privateer's booking in Baton Rouge by intimidating the show's promoter. Boosie, I'm going to put your MFing ass in jail, White said on social media. And I quote, boy, you making threats to the promoter. I got a recorded phone conversation with witnesses on the phone saying the promoter is scared for his life, that he got to go live in Baton Rouge, that Boosie's going to send them people to get you. White wanted to get the FBI involved in the matter. The polarizing figure taunted Boosie as White believed his foe would end up behind bars. White claimed the promoter asked him not to contact the authorities, but he rejected their request. He hoped to cause more trouble for Boosie after playing a role in the 2023 arrest of Boosie's son, Tootie Raw. Now, I have no skin in this game, skin in this fight. I don't know why Charleston White and Boosie are at each other. I really don't know. I can't speak on none of them, so I really don't have much to talk about on this in terms of a take. Both are big on the internet. Both garner a lot of views and eyes on them on this platform. So I can only look up and aspire to get as many views as them one day, and be a figure that people talk about. Nug did this, Nug did that. Who knows? Subscribe, like, share, comment. Moving on. Netflix animated Good Times reboot gets premiere date. The CBS sitcom Good Times ran for 6 seasons from 74 to 79. Netflix picked up an updated animated interpretation of the classic show. Good Times told the story of the Evans household life in the Chicago public housing project. Esther Rolle, John Amos, Jeanette Dubose, Ralph Carter, Bernadette Stanis, and Jimmy Walker made up the main cast. The new version of the family comedy will premiere on April 12th. According to reports, we're excited to carry on the original legacy of Good Times, but now animated, and a little edgier. Let's just say the struggle has just gotten strugglier, unquote. I'm here for it. Good times, anytime, good times. I mean, I watch Good Times. I obviously was born in 78, so I was 1 when it went off the air, but I caught the reruns. I remember the Evans family very well. Dynamite and Militant Michael and JJ. I mean, the animated version, I'm here for it. I mean, it's not going to probably be what that classic show was, but I'm here for the reboot. And a lot of times I'm kind of like, leave classic stuff alone, but I'm here for the reboot. I mean, it is what it is. New day and time. Why not bring a classic back? Coach, I'm almost done, bro. Relax. Speaking of Frenchies, we got a letter coming. April will be ready in May. If anybody out there really looking for great quality Frenchies, let me know. Contact me. We AKC certified. Come here. Come on. We love our pets, but he just interrupting my show so much tonight, but this is Coach. His father, 21 pups and counting. But yeah, can I get my sports news out the way, buddy? Can I get my sports news out the way? All right, sports news. Aaron Donald on retiring from the NFL. I quote, I'm complete, I'm full, I'm burnt out. After 10 NFL seasons playing for the Rams, complete with a Super Bowl title, the three-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, among many others, Aaron Donald has had enough. Donald, one of the best defensive players in NFL history, announced his retirement on March 15th and explained Wednesday why he chose to walk away at the age of 32. In a clip shared on X account teasing a longer interview, Donald explained that the passion to continue was gone. The idea of preparing himself and his body to grind through another 17-game regular season was something that no longer got his competitive juices flowing. Donald spent his entire 10-season career with the Rams franchise. He was a first-team All-Pro 7 straight seasons and went to 10 Pro Bowls. He's a future Hall of Famer, and his absence from the Rams defensive line will make opposing quarterbacks rejoice in the future. Donald was and is that dude. Doubled most of his career, still got pressure on the quarterback. He is a dominant force, easy Hall of Famer. Congrats and salute to a great season as one of the best DNs in the history of the NFL. Caleb Williams flashed more than trademark arm talents to Bears, Commanders, and Patriots at his pro day. As pro day quarterbacks tend to do, Caleb entered with a script. And as tends to happen at pro days, that script required an on-field adjustment Wednesday at USC. The expected number one overall selection of the 2024 NFL Draft was scheduled to throw about 50 times in a routine featuring three receivers. Then wide receiver John Jackson, a former USC player who finished his career at Nevada, tweaked his hamstring in an early drill. Suddenly, a few routes needed to be cut. The depth on the other routes adjusted. The order and pacing had to be reconfigured to spell receivers Brandon Rice and Taj Washington, who each now carried a more substantial workload. There was even one instance where one of the guys was kind of nursing an injury, so we weren't going to run him full speed. An instant where Caleb was like, hey, instead of this, just do this and I'll change my drop and I'll throw this route. I got you. And NFL talent evaluators flocking to UFC by the dozens Wednesday got a valuable glance at Williams. It's fair to say that Williams had little to gain at his pro day. He's overwhelmingly expected to leave the draft board number one, and it will be downright shocking if he is around after 2. I believe Caleb is a generational player. The Bears definitely has let me get this dog out of here. Get out of here. Come on, go. Get your ass out of here. Sorry about that, y'all. Caleb Williams, if the Bears don't get him number one, I'll be shocked. They need a generational quarterback, something the franchise probably never had unless you count Jim McMahon. He only had 1 or 2 good seasons. He did win him a Super Bowl, but everybody knew that was mainly because of the 85 Bears defense. Moving on. The Dodgers' Mookie Betts hits in MLB's first home run of 2024, wins himself a car. The first home run of the 2024 MLB season belongs to Mookie Betts. The Los Angeles Dodgers shortstop hit 400 feet inside Gehrig State Sky Dome during Thursday's Seal Series against the San Diego Padres. His home run cut the Padres' lead to 10-8 at the time and earned Betts a brand new car. Betts went yard in the bottom of the 5th inning on a 3-1 pitch from Michael King. As part of MLB sponsorship with Hyundai, the first player to hit a home run during the two games in South Korea would take home its new electric vehicle across the Pacific Ocean. Betts finished the game 4 of 6 with 6 RBIs and 2 runs scored. He fell a triple short of hitting the cycle as the Dodgers dropped the second game of the series 15-11. Mookie Betts, I definitely salute you for not only winning that call, but having a damn great game. Did you hear this? Betts finished with the game 4 of 6 with 6 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Next level shit. Moving on. The Warriors shatter NBA record with odd scoring feat versus the Grizzlies. The Warriors made NBA history in their 137 to 116 win over the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday at Chase Center. Golden State scored 137 points against Memphis with just 2 made free throws, breaking the previous record of 126 points on 2 or fewer free throws set by the 1979-80 Los Angeles Lakers team. The Warriors previously accomplished a similar feat 8 years ago when the infamous 73-9 squad scored 108 points in a win over the Philadelphia 76ers on January 30th, 2016, with just 1 free throw. The feat shouldn't be that surprising given Golden State averages the 7th most points per game, but the 27th most free throw attempts per game in the NBA this season. That's definitely a crazy stat. Few free throws you can hit and you still whoop a team by like what's that 16 what's that 21 points. That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. I know earlier Boston whooped them by like 70 one night. The Warriors got whooped bad. So I mean it's good to see they back on their winning ways. Speaking of, gotta give a shout out to Oakland for beating Kentucky. All y'all brackets fucked. Everybody bracket is messed up. I don't want to hear your bracket and all this. Nobody picked Oklahoma, my bad, Oakland to beat Kentucky, but somebody in Oakland, but he not gonna get the rest of his bracket right. So again, I picked UConn for the win on one, Houston to win on another. All guessing. Obviously, I ain't gonna win nothing, but hey, we got a little something to watch. March Madness is in full effect. A 14 just whooped a 4 or 5 seed, whatever Kentucky was. Don't let them seeds fool y'all. And up next, I can't make this shit up. We pay our gym to let us work out naked, and it helped us get fitter. A polymorous Brazilian couple has taken muscle flaunting to the triple X extreme by training together at a public gym while in the nude. And I quote, "It's a form of intimacy and complexity that goes beyond the conventional," unquote. Bella Montevante, 31, told Jam Press of their unorthodox brand of tandem sexercise. She and her husband, Vagon Ofrere, he's 34, who lives in Sao Paulo, have been famously vocal about their polytheism lifestyle, which they promote on a Times Square billboard in August to preach free love gospel. The naked and unafraid lovebirds who share a page on OnlyFans also enjoy spicing up their S life by taking walks together with the guy on a leash. They're not bearing it all for fun. Woman Montevante says that exercising naked burns more calories, claiming that she and her hubby have lost over 56 pounds between them since starting this particular pastime. Can't make this shit up. Moving on. This day in history. This is where I give y'all a little value, a little history, and leave y'all with a little education. In 1963, on this day, The Alcatraz prison in San Francisco Bay was closed permanently. Also, 1965, on this day, Martin Luther King Jr. begins the march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Yes, the show usually lasts an hour. We only gonna do about 35 minutes. Late show. I'm still getting back into the thick of things. I think I've got where I want my camera at. I like this angle. As long as my sound's good, we're gonna definitely keep with this angle right here. Interact, man. Send me comments. Share the video. Add it to your playlist. Like the video. Subscribe. Comment again. Good or bad. I'm looking for feedback. If you look at our little ticker at the bottom, obviously we have all of our information in terms of Cash Apps and PayPals. Never begging, but donations are always appreciated. This is a research show. Again, I am Nug, the narrator. I thank y'all for joining me. As always, we're going to leave with some music. Love all y'all, and I'll see y'all again twice a week. So I'll be back in a couple of days, and we'll do this again. Peace, 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 peace. Thanks, you. It really popularized this format, and I'm forever influenced. Yeah. Down back. Down back. Down back. Yeah. I hear them talk about bags, real life, shit be sad. Yeah. Ain't no love out here, success, the only thing that they fear. Down bad. Fam shit. Down bad. Thank William. Weighing in my spot, niggas down bad. Got the ones a little pot, niggas down bad. Got the guns in the fans, down bad. Just had to laugh out. Lames down bad. Fling snakes on their ass, not down bad. Know they fake niggas hate shit down bad. Forever get the cake, never down bad. Pocket stay straight, all that, never down bad. Still couldn't lean, niggas down bad. Synthetic ass weed, niggas down bad. See it in their eyes, niggas down bad. Bad pipe ass niggas always down bad. I hear them talk about bags, real life, shit be sad. Down bad. Ain't no love out here, success, only thing that they fear. Down bad. Down bad. Down bad. Posing ass rapper should be down bad. Mad they ain't chosen, should be down bad. Put me on my ass, should be down bad. But I be getting cash, laying down bad. Lying about your life, shit down bad. Stripes you never had, should be down bad. Claim me a hustler, always down bad. Ain't never seen a struggle, down bad. Learned it from the 6 streets, down bad. Tell me how to eat pass, down bad. Players get a last, shit was down bad. If it wasn't me, I'd be down bad. I hear them talk about bags, real life, shit be sad. Down bad. Down bad. Yeah. No. Ain't no love out here, success, only thing that they fear. Down bad. Down bad. Down bad.